To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados de las puertas.
Here's a wildest ride in the history.
When industry doors change.
So today on Miles from Main Street, we are doing another draft. Da-na-na, da-na-na. Today we are drafting sit-down restaurants. These are typically restaurants that you need a reservation for, but some of these you can probably find same-day reservations as well.
I will give out just a quick reminder that it's only in-park restaurants that we're talking about.
Correct.
Yes. All right. So for sure, go and, as you said last time, smash that subscribe button.
Smash it.
Yes. We need you to subscribe and keep on listening. I hope you guys really enjoyed Topper last week. We got more coming from him, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. So, also, July 28th, if you haven't heard yet, we are going to be doing a Haunted Mansion event for the movie. We'll go watch the movie and then get together afterwards, and possibly some other surprises. But the big one is that if we can get enough people to come out, we will be giving away a movie poster. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. I've created a Facebook event within our group, so you can kind of let us know there what you think you might be doing. And then, that's going to be a good time. So July 28th, come on out. So Mikhailo, this isn't the first time this week I've talked to you. We
Correct.
had a little, you held a little shindig Monday night.
A little shindig.
I guess big congratulations to you, sir, for tying the knot with your one and only, and she is awesome, and I'm so happy for the two of you. So I was really happy that I was able to be there and support you guys. So big congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, I found my Disney princess and I put a ring on it. So very happy about that, and very happy to be spending the rest of my life with my best friend. So very happy.
Yes, very cool. It was a great event. Very simple and very fun. And so, very cool.
And
congratulations.
We are going on a honeymoon. Brian, where do you think we might go for a honeymoon?
Africa.
Technically, we'll probably hit up Harambe at some point while we're there, but
I don't think that's the case. I think you're hitting up Disney World.
Ding ding, correct. Was there any doubt, really?
No, I knew for sure that's where you would go.
Of course.
I did it.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you?
It's what you do. I'm pretty sure my parents did it.
I believe it's the number one honeymoon destination.
Well, there you go.
Right.
Anyways, we have a little business to take care of before we start today's draft. Brian, actually, I'm actually pretty sure I proposed this trade, but we're doing a trade. Brian,
to be fair, it was in my head to figure it out. You just beat me to it.
Yeah, and the big reason was that I like Mickey and Minnie's, but I'm a little. I mean, if I could get Kilimanjaro Safari and include that into my park, I feel like that has more value to me than Mickey and Minnie's. And I knew Brian was really into it, so I proposed the trade, Mickey and Minnie's for Safari, and Brian accepted.
Yes, I at first wanted to push Peter Pan at you, but I think it's a fair
Don't
trade.
say that, because Kristen's going to get mad.
I should probably shout out Tammy right now because she did not kill me over the Haunted Mansion thing last week. She did say something about, you're lucky you're able to record tonight because I didn't kill you. So thank you, honey, for not killing me. But yeah, I think it's a fair trade, and I think it helps my park look pretty awesome. I'm thinking, at the end of this, we're just going to have an episode where we kind of outline what our parks look like.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to do that. I've already started forming what it's going to look like and trying to push my next draft picks towards what I still need to fill in my park.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So-
I've been treating this as like a legitimate draft, and I've got my picks ready to go, and I've got extras just in case Brian picks the ones I want to pick. So, I'm pretty excited about this next draft. So,
yeah, restaurants, table service restaurants.
mm-hmm.
These would be the 1 or 2 credit deals if you're on a dining plan. If you guys remember that, it's time to get reacquainted.
Yeah, which exists now again.
Yeah. All right, so you get the first pick, sir.
I do get the first pick. And honestly, kind of a no-brainer. There's lots of stuff in this realm that I could also pick. But for me, this is definitely the best restaurant in any Disney park. And I am going to go with Le Cellier.
No! Come on! I knew you were going to do that.
Of course. I mean, how can you not? It's so great. And it's just so me. Steak, just lots of steak and cheese and all kinds of, it's just all great. I just love Canada. If I can just go on a random rant and not really talk about Le Cellier, just the Canadian Pavilion, there's not all that much to do there, but I love it. Like, it's so, like, just like all of the theming that they have in that area is really cool, with like the waterfall in the back and everything. I love Canada far and wide. It makes Kristen sick sometimes because it's a 360 video. Circle Vision. That's what it's called.
Do they still have the lean bars that you stand?
Yeah, they have those
there?
all in the middle. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I just love Canada, and I like Canada as a country in general too. I've been there a couple times. But yeah,
shout out to our Canadian friends.
Yeah, and just Le Cellier, it's just great, and like it was hyped up for so long to me because I hadn't been able to get there until just like probably like a year or two ago. So it like definitely lived up to the hype. And so that's why I'm taking it at number 1.
I wish I could still hang that over your head.
Yeah.
It's just I wanted that one. Now I'm gonna have to recalibrate. I think it's a great pick. Like you said, steak, and I mean, I remember when I went there getting the breadsticks that they give you at the beginning of your meal, and each one of them had a story. Down to like the pretzel bread, I didn't even know like they're the home of pretzel bread in Canada. So, yeah, like there was a story with that one too. It was like, dang, this is awesome. Like it was a really good kickoff to this meal for us. So, so yeah, I wish I would have gotten that one. I am going to hem and haw. I'm not sure which one I need to grab first here from you. I think for my first pick, I'm going to go with Garden Grill. Does it hurt?
It does hurt because it's on the list. You know what's really funny? I'm going to interject here really quick. I feel like this one is gonna like be a real draft. I feel like before we kind of had our favorites. There were definitely a few that like we took from each other, but like I think this one's gonna be a game of cat and mouse going back and forth.
This one, so I got to be honest. I did not get the time I wanted to prepare last week or 2 weeks ago for the rides. And then when you switched it up and you wanted to break it up, which I think it was a good idea to do, my mind went to big rides versus small rides. That's how I started categorizing them. And that's where the snafu ended up with Mickey and Minnie's and some of the other stuff I picked. Like my wife's going, why did you pick Winnie the Pooh? Like, like there's other rides I could have picked. And that's just kind of how it happened for me, is that I was kind of racing to add in a few more and figure out where I wanted to go. And I was more of that big, little type of thing. Mm-hmm. So this week I wanted to make sure that I could take what I wanted and it fit into my park. So, yeah. And, we started talking about, and my wife and I'll talk about this stuff ahead of time. And, as I'm trying to figure out lists, and I started cruising right along, picking restaurants, and I got to number 4 and I went, wait a minute. None of these are in a park.
I did the same thing. Yep.
So I, just for you out there, like as you're looking at where you want to eat, maybe realize that our top 4 or 5 aren't in a park. Mm-hmm. And I think that says a little bit about the food inside of parks. Mm-hmm. So, definitely, like, we prefer to take the time to eat outside of a park. I've said that before. So I'm going on a long tangent here, only to say that Garden Grill is an excellent place. They've got great food and the chipmunks. So I think it's a great addition. And in the same vein as you would go as you did with the People Mover, I think that means that I get at least a portion of living with the land.
That's true. Yeah. And I was going to say, you guys are going to find out later in this episode, I do have an affinity with eateries that are attached to rides. And so that is something that I think is very cool. And the big reason Garden Grill was on my list was because of that, was because I've heard the food is very good, but also you get to see one of the best parts of living with the land. So and that's all part of theming. Like they could have taken Garden Grill and just put it somewhere random and it would have been like an okay place to go eat. But like, and we haven't even mentioned that it rotates. Like the whole thing rotates as you're eating. And it's all you care to enjoy. Kind of like family style. And I hear great things about the food and you're able to see into a ride. And I think all of that theming is very cool.
Totally agree. And I'm so glad that I have that one in my arsenal now. I think it's going to fit in well with my park. So I can't wait to go over what this park looks like. It's really starting to shape up as something pretty awesome.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with my next pick, second pick, I am picking Be Our Guest.
There you go. I knew that would be coming. I didn't know if it would be a 1 or a 2 for you.
Well, one of the reason it's higher, and it sounds like it wasn't on your list, but it was because I thought maybe it'd be on your list. But it's definitely it's a place to eat that I definitely want, and a lot of like some of the things that I really value in dining is theming. Like if I can have really great theming while I'm dining, like that just takes the whole experience up to 11. And Be Our Guest does that really well. It also has some pretty great food. People have kind of like complained about the food. And honestly, most of the complaints I get about the food at Be Our Guest is the amount. Like the steak that they have is definitely kind of like your typical like wedding reception steak, but like I think it's pretty decent. Like it's good steak to eat. It is kind of small, but like those are always the complaints that I hear from people is that like the portions are small, which I get, but like it's decent food in a very well themed area, and like that's kind of like what drives it for me. Um, like when you're going to a Disney restaurant, so you'll probably see that theme with a lot of these places that I pick. That theming is very high with these places, but yeah, that's why I'm going with Be Our Guest, and it's very popular. It's a very popular place to eat.
Yeah, like I said, I knew you were going to go with Be Our Guest. I even toyed with the idea of just stealing it from you, just for the heck of stealing it from you, but it doesn't really fit with what I'm going for. But we did breakfast there before it became a signature restaurant. And it was enjoyable. The theming is amazing. We sat in the room that is the West Wing and watched the petals fall. And it was, it was really neat to do that. I have not enjoyed a dinner meal there. And I don't know if we will. It's just not something that's high on our list right now. But maybe down the road that'll change. So, I know that you love it, and maybe if I were to eat there, that would change. Maybe I would like it. So, I think it's going to fit your park a lot better. But that brings me to my number 2. And I am going to take Yak and Yeti.
Yep.
I love Yak and Yeti, and I might have to get that on my list for this time around, on our next trip, because it's just that good. Like, I need to get back there. It actually was a great gateway drug into venturing out and trying an Indian restaurant in our area. I love chicken tikka masala now, and I love butter chicken, and it's all because of Yak and Yeti. So, like I've always said, Disney does a great job of making this food accessible. So don't be afraid to venture out and try something new, because, especially at Disney, because they're going to take care of you. So anyway, Yak and Yeti has wonderful food, and it really fits into my park. So
yeah, the time that we went to Yak and Yeti, we thought it was really good too. And I do enjoy Indian food. I've liked Indian food for a while now. And the fact that it's just kind of like tucked right in there in Asia, and that it's ran by what
Landry's
group? Landry's.
Yeah.
So it's basically like a rainforest cafe.
You can get their Landry's card too, that it helps you with seating, so you don't necessarily need to have a reservation. So,
wow, I didn't even know that you could get the Landry's card and just walk in. That's cool.
Yeah. And it's so a little background on that. It's a $25 card, and they give you a $25 credit to use in one of the restaurants. So when you walk up and you show them the card, they put you at the top of the wait list, and you'll get next available. So I've heard a lot of people say they've used it and it works really well, and that they like having that. So
is that any Landry's place? So like T-Rex is a Landry's restaurant?
I believe, yeah, it extends to any of them.
Huh. That's interesting. I like that. We may need to go to a rainforest cafe soon.
I just keep thinking about that video you sent me a while back where the guy went to every single rainforest cafe.
That is such a good video.
And he was,
if you have it,
his deadpan comedy though,
well, okay, I have to explain this too, Brian, because there's 2 videos. It's 2 YouTubers that did that. One YouTuber was having the worst time of his life, which is the one that I sent you.
Yeah.
And then the other YouTuber was loving it every single time that they went until like the end where he like went nuts or something. But it was like watching them, and they're both like an hour long. Like they go through every single rainforest cafe in the country, and it was just a really great like series to watch because it was hilarious to watch these two guys interact this way. But yeah, you gotta check it out. I forgot what these guys are called, but it's two guys that went to every rainforest cafe in the country, and it's hilarious.
It was great. It was great to watch, and knowing that Mikhailo would love to make that trip.
That would be a great trip.
Especially that one in New Jersey or whatever. Like that one was just awful. Like, it has got to be the worst. I believe there's 25,
sure.
right? 25 of them.
Yeah, that sounds about right. With my third pick, I'm going to pick San Angel Inn. And this is one that I was pretty sure Brian wasn't going to pick because it's become a family favorite with the Nerniak family. And we just love it. Like when Kristen and I went, and we weren't even really expecting all that much. And kind of a little background, we were already like dead tired in our trip. This was like day 2 of Epcot.
And you're dead tired.
And we are just so tired. And we are just like muscling through this day. And we get to San Angel Inn, and it was just a breath of fresh air. And it was so cool. We weren't on like right at the edge of the water. And just to let you know, this is the restaurant that's inside of the pyramid in Mexico. And there's the Three Caballeros ride, which is a ride that we also love. And it's kind of like if you've ever seen Blue Bayou at Disneyland, it's set up in a very similar fashion where the boats kind of ride right in front of the restaurant. Mm-hmm. But it's just like the theming in it. It feels like you're outside in Mexico. Like that whole room feels that way. I love going into that pyramid. But it was just great. And like the food was very good. And I ordered, I ordered some steak dishes, which of course I have to. And it was all very good, authentic Mexican. And then we had several tequilas. I think we each had a margarita with dinner. And then I think we may have ordered another margarita, each of us. And I asked the guy, Kristen had a margarita that she wanted, but I wasn't sure what I wanted. And I asked the guy, like, what margarita should I get? And he told me the margarita, and I was like, let's do that one. And Kristen was like, oh, you just ordered like the most expensive margarita. And I was like, crap, this guy was just trying to get me to buy the most expensive margarita. Good job, Kylo. But it comes, and it's the margarita that they do the nitrogen bubble with.
Oh, cool.
So and it sat on top of my margarita for a good 5 minutes. Like it'll sit there and then it'll explode. But it didn't. It just kind of sat there. So we just kept taking pictures of it. And so finally it burst, and I was like, let me just drink this really expensive margarita. Best margarita I've ever had, like hands down. And if any of you guys know anything about alcohol, the more expensive the alcohol, the better it's going to be. Mm-hmm. This is like so true about tequila. I've hated tequila for like my whole life, but then going to Disney and experiencing expensive, decent tequila made me really turn around about tequila. And this drink was doing it. So, I could talk about it for a while, which is what I'm doing. But we had so much fun there, and it was such a great experience. And that's why I honestly probably could have taken it at number 2. But yeah, that's why I picked it.
So I ate there when we were on our honeymoon, which was 9 years ago. And I don't remember what I ate, but I do remember enjoying it. And I know when I really started diving into Disney hard. I believe it was Pete over at Diz Unplugged that was bashing San Angel.
They used to bash San Angel in all the
Yeah,
time.
and I just sat there going, really? Like, I remember really enjoying that place. Like you said, the ambiance was good. I don't remember anything about the food being bad. Like, we really enjoyed it. So,
Mm-hmm.
I knew you were gonna go with that one. Like, it's nice to know the places you like because it helps me shape my list. It's kind of that inside stuff that probably a lot of the NFL guys know too because they've worked with each other over the years, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, great choice. I think that'll be great. My number 3, I even feel like my number 3 I could put at the bottom of the list and just save because I don't think we've ever even talked about it. But I'm going to take it now because that's where I have it listed. We went to the Italy pavilion and Tammy said, "I'm hungry. Let's go to Via Napoli." And we walked right in. They said it'd be a 20-minute wait, and it wasn't even 5 minutes, and we were sitting down. The pizza was amazing. I couldn't stop eating it, and I wish I would have because I was a little uncomfortable when we left. But it was really good, and we did a wine flight that was really good. The theming is perfect for an Italian pizzeria. They have these stone ovens that they cook the pizzas in, and I can't remember their names now, but they look like faces, and they each have a name, and it's related to something in Italy, and I'm completely forgetting the story now, but it's really cool to walk in and see that, and then they bring these giant pizzas to you, and this isn't the fluffy Disney pizza that they sell everywhere. Like, this is specialty pizza. They bring water in from Pittsburgh. And why is it Pittsburgh?
Isn't it because Pittsburgh water is the closest to Italy water?
Yeah, and they use that to make the dough, and like that just shows the detail that Disney will go to make sure that they're doing everything the way they need to be. And so, Via Napoli pizza, if you ever get the chance, or if there's a possibility that the window is open and you can order one to go or something, do it. Their pizza's amazing.
Yeah. Interestingly, Brian, I thought about Via Napoli, and this is one that I haven't been to, but I really want to get to at some point. Because I've heard a lot of really good things and I've seen a lot of really good things. So it's definitely something that I want to go to sometime in the near future. I don't think we're going to be able to get there in our next trip, but maybe a trip after that we'll finally get to Via Napoli. But yeah, this was definitely, I had to think about possibly putting this one on my list. So
it's worth it. My guests are going to be so happy.
It's true. Okay, so keeping with the theme that I have, which is theming, with my 4th pick, I'm going to pick Skipper Canteen.
Ooh. Earlier tonight we were talking about the ride picks and we didn't even mention Jungle Cruise.
That's true, yeah.
So I'm kind of surprised by this pick that you're going with Skipper Canteen, but please go for it.
Well, a couple of reasons. I've been there a couple times, and honestly, I would say one of the better places to dine at Magic Kingdom. Like, it's definitely up there with, I I mean, I've never been to Cindy's, but Cindy's would be pretty cool. Cinderella's Royal Table. Be Our Guest, definitely the best theming in the park. But Skipper Canteen is like right up there with those. Plus, the food that they have there is really good. Last time we went, we got the Dan Dan noodles, and like these are like side noodles that you can get. So good. They were up. Like I think about these noodles a lot. Like I want to get Dan Dan noodles again. And I honestly I feel like it's just not very well known. Like not a lot of people are like running to get to Skipper Canteen. So, kind of a hidden gem too. But again, lots of theming. It's the last time we were there, we got to sit in the SEA room, which is the Society of Explorers and Adventurers.
Good job.
And I had to really think about that one. But we requested that room, and then they stuck us in the butterfly booth, which is a little booth in the back that is just filled with butterflies. So that was really cool. But yeah, you walk to get through to the SEA room. You walk through these bookcases, and typically these bookcases are closed, and the cast members will push the bookcase, and you'll be able to walk into the SEA room. But it's made to kind of look like this like secret room for these SEA meetings and stuff like that. But then, I mean, really anywhere, if you look around, like you're gonna see detail about Jungle Cruise, which is a really good ride at Disney. And having that SEA background on that ride really lends itself to like just like put like all kinds of fun little Easter eggs in there. So theming, again, very high in this one, but also the food is very good. So
I think we need to do an episode on the SEA because it's woven into so many things now. And there is a book that was written, a novel that is supposed to tie into a TV show they're going to do. And I haven't heard anything about it, and I'm kind of scared it may have got cut because of what's happening with Disney Plus right now. But, hopefully down the road we'll still get it. But yeah, the SEA is so cool to see how they've woven it all around the world, not just in Disney World with the ride and Skipper Canteen, but all the way around the world. So, I have not eaten there. I tried on our last trip a couple of times, but there's nothing on that menu that my family's willing to try.
yeah, that's the one thing about that menu.
And I always tell them, like I just was saying, like it's accessible, like it's going to be okay, but I just can't get them to do it. So
you're telling me that they don't want an entire fried fish?
No, I think if it's staring at you, they're not going to eat it.
Yeah.
So, or as they say in A Christmas Story, it's smiling at us.
It's smiling at me. Yep.
All right, so my number four. I need a signature restaurant. So I am going to go with Tiffin's.
Oh, yep.
I know it's really good. Again, not a place I've eaten. I'm especially not going to take time at a signature very often inside of a park. Just because I'm not going to feel like I can take the time to do that typically. My wife and I have started talking more recently that we're starting to slow down and take in the park more and not do as much running. And so maybe I'll be finally able to do something like that where I can get myself to slow down and try Tiffin's, but it has a great track record. People love it. So I think it's going to fit in with the theming that it has. It's going to fit in great with where I want to put it in my park.
Yeah, Tiffin's I've been to the lounge, um,
Nomad?
which is Tiffin's, which is what's it
Nomad
called?
Lounge?
Yeah, Nomad Lounge. I should know that. And no, like it was cool. Nomad Lounge was fun. Um, and it's like I bet Tiffin's is nice. Uh, but there's just never really been anything kind of pulling me there. I think that's the thing is that like there's so many other places that I could go in Animal Kingdom, and I've just never really had a pull to go to Tiffin's. I've looked inside and it looks beautiful, and I bet the food is really good. I've just never really been pulled in. So
Well, and it's kind of hidden as well. Like,
exactly,
yeah, you
yeah.
don't know it's there, and it's and it's a signature restaurant. So when you've got places like Yak and Yeti or Satuli Canteen
Mhm.
or Flame Tree Barbecue, like you don't need to stop and have a signature meal. I think if you're going to do any signature meal, though, you could probably afford the time the most in Animal Kingdom because that park
That's
has
true.
really turned into a half-day park. Maybe that'll change down the road, but I really feel like it's not a park that you need to be in all day.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think fitting this signature into my park though is going to really round it out. I was looking at my list as we've been talking, and I have some great places on here that fit really well into the theming that I'm looking for within the different parts of my park, but I didn't have that signature restaurant. So I was kind of scrambling as we were talking. And I'm really happy with this one. There's other ones that I would love to take from a hotel or one of the resorts, but Tiffin's.
Cool, yeah. Great pick, really great pick. This was a pick that rattled around in my mind again that I thought about, but I just didn't pull the trigger on it. But I'm going to go ahead and pick my last pick, and I'm going with Sci-Fi Dine In at Hollywood Studios.
What? You're taking that?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I saved that one for last because I didn't even think it was on your radar. Really?
Did you actually?
That was my sleeper pick.
That's so funny. It's funny. I took my sleeper pick super early. I took my sleeper pick at 3 just because I wanted to pick it.
I thought for sure you wouldn't even go near it.
There you
Darn
go.
you.
Well, Brian, when you think about it, it's got really heavy theming.
Yes, very heavy theming.
And this is a restaurant. So like I have the Le Cellier, which is like elegant restaurant. I have the Be Our Guest, which is like probably like a little step down food wise. Not a little step down. A step down from Le Cellier food wise, but still decently elegant. I've got San Angel Inn, which is kind of like that Tex-Mex type food. Max really. Skipper Canteen, which is kind of like an exotic food. And then Sci-Fi, which is your burgers and fries. So that's really kind of why I wanted to do that, because I didn't have anywhere that just gives you like your typical like burger and fry type food. Plus, it's got really great theming. Like I don't know why. I've always felt like drive-ins were really cool. Like I think had I grown up in like the time of drive-ins, I would have been all about it. Like I'm still all about it. Like every summer I'm like we need to go to a drive-in at some point because they're very cool and they're very fun. And so those are really kind of all the reasons I picked Sci-Fi. And it is it. I mean, it's not really a sleeper because it is actually pretty hard to get reservations for this place. I remember we kind of struggled getting reservations, but that's also because you literally sit in a car when you eat. So it's not like they have a whole bunch of seating.
Right.
But it's a lot of fun. It makes you seem like you're at an actual drive-in movie theater. So I really enjoy it, and it definitely, I think, will round out my selections for my park.
The first couple of trips I ever made to Disney World, that seemed to be the place we would always eat. And they have great movies up on the screen, the food is fine, but it's just always been a great place. And I've got that Star Wars ride, I've got Tron, it just would have fit perfectly with that. And you go and rip it out. I was willing to give you a Cellier. Knew that you were going to take it, but this one hurts.
Well, there you go. That's how the cookie crumbles.
Well, that one's off the table. It's a good thing I went quickly running to write down a couple of extras because I needed to have backups. You could get a burger and fries anywhere. Go to McDonald's, would you?
I don't think McDonald's is in a park.
It used to be.
It used to be. It used to be. Look at us.
Dinoland, USA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do here.
Thank you, Topper, by the way.
You could have gone with Rose and Crown. You can get a burger there.
That's so funny that you say that. You know what's right? You know what's right under sci-fi on my list?
Rose and Crown.
Rose and Crown.
Turn one of those steaks at Le Cellier into a burger.
That would probably be a pretty good burger.
All right. I haven't eaten there, but I really want to. I love the meal option that they have. I love the just what it is. It's so kind of out in left field that when they first opened it, it was really popular. And I believe to this day it still is. And it's something that I just really, really want to go do. And that is Le Crêperie de Paris. And I've got Remy's, so why not? I'll take the creperie. It's going to be a great pick. I don't know. Yay! Crepes.
You don't sound too happy about.
I don't know. I mean, I'm waffling because I like the novelty of the creperie.
Well, are you crepering?
Yeah, right. I mean, we're talking a pancake versus a waffle. It's two different things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, Rose and Crown is really good. I just don't know how it fits into my park. I don't know how creperie fits into my park, other than I've got Remy. But you took the one that I thought you weren't going to take for sure. Like, I put Tiffin's just because I thought there was a chance that you would take it. Well, the Crêperie de Paris it is. Come eat crepes, people.
Come to Park O'Brien. They have crepes.
Park O'Brien. It's an Irish park. All right. So you kind of gave your rundown already. Of what you have chosen. Why don't you give us that real quick again?
So I've got Le Cellier, I've got San Angelion, I've got Be Our Guest, I've got Skipper Canteen, and the cherry on top, Sci-Fi Drive-In.
Well done, sir. Well done. I have got Yak and Yeti. I've got Garden Grill, Via Napoli, Tiffin's, and La Crêperie de Paris. which is the coup de grace, I'm going to say. So, I'm loving this series right now. So
this has been a lot of fun.
Yes, this is awesome. I can't wait to do the next one. Which we've talked about a few different options. I think we'll just leave it as a surprise for next time.
Yeah. We'll see what we end up drafting, people.
Yes, drafting, as he says. All right, so this week for our little trivia game, I've got CJ here from Park to Park Podcast. CJ, thanks for coming in and taking the challenge.
Hey, thanks for having me. Hopefully I don't totally fail this.
Well, I know that you enjoy going to Epcot, so I thought we'd start there.
Sounds good.
I'll try to find something that might be easy for you, but we'll see.
Throw me a softball. All right, let's go.
So this book I'm pulling from, this is Lou Mangello's first edition or first volume of Walt Disney World Trivia. So this question has actually changed in recent history, so maybe that's a little clue. Name the only government-sponsored World Showcase in the pavilion.
Morocco.
That is Morocco, and as you were nodding your head, yes, the ownership has gone back to Disney.
Yes.
For better or worse. Maybe that's another conversation.
Yes.
How many stories high is the pagoda in front of the Japan Pavilion?
Okay, I'm picturing it in my mind. Oh, I'm guessing it's an odd number, but maybe it's even. I'm faltering between 4 and 5, but I'm going to go with 5.
You are right.
Yes!
It is 5.
Yes! Yay. Cool.
It is 83 feet tall, which is interesting in itself because I don't know if it is or not, but I would expect that they use some forced perspective on that building.
They must, because 83 is not divisible by 5. So
That's true.
I'm guessing they probably do.
Good point. All right, we'll move over to the Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
In which of these attractions does your ride car not travel backwards at some point? The Haunted Mansion, Maelstrom, Spaceship Earth, or Peter Pan's Flight?
Oh, Peter Pan's Flight.
Check
The other ones, you rotate backwards.
What number was that? I'm going to double check.
I was worried, but these turned out to be easy.
Wow. Yes.
I need a challenge.
Yes, Peter Pan's Flight is correct.
Yeah.
I will see your challenge.
Okay.
I've been kind of, you said you were worried about it, so I have been trying to be a little...
but you boosted my confidence,
Oh,
so now I'm like, bring it on.
I need to go to Disney MGM Studios.
Oh.
All right, here we go. On Star Tours, there is a red tag attached to your pilot. What does it say?
Do not remove? I don't know. I have no idea.
I can give you some multiple choice if you'd like.
Yes. That would be great.
Experimental prototype pilot of tomorrow. $1.99. Scrap metal. Or remove before flight.
I think it's going to be one of the last two. I'm going to go with remove before flight because that was close to what I guessed.
It is removed before flight. My
yes!
goodness.
That is so funny. I'm going to have to go look for that.
Well, actually, you can't.
Oh,
because,
no.
again, this is an older book, and so it's referencing Rex, who
the
is
old
now
Star Tours.
who is now the DJ at Oga's.
What if that tag is still on him?
That's what I want to know.
So
Okay, I'm gonna have to go to Oga's.
you
Oh
better
darn!
do that and let me know. Yeah, right. What's your favorite?
Gotta do some research.
What's your favorite drink at Oga's?
I have two. I really like the fuzzy tauntaun because it, makes your mouth all numb and it's just kind of unique. And I like jet juice, which is small but mighty. Warning, small but mighty.
I've heard that recently. I saw maybe it was Instagram that I saw that recently. Small but mighty.
Yeah, it packs a little punch there. It's good though.
I'm gonna have to try that. My wife did the fuzzy tauntaun when we were there, and so I got to try that. It is weird having that numbing stuff going on. But I did get the Yub Nub. I had to get that for myself, and that was.
Which one is that?
It comes in the mug, like the.
Oh, yes. Okay, the special cup. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what was in it at this point, but it was good. I did enjoy it.
Good. Cool.
Let's give you a good one for this last one.
Okay.
You're 4 for 4, so let's see if you can make it 100%.
Okay.
All right. Discovery Island. We're talking Animal Kingdom Discovery Island here.
Okay. Not the defunct one.
It's encircled by what river?
Oh, that's a hard one. What river? I have no idea.
This is in the Discovery River. How about that?
That's what it's called?
Yes,
Discovery
River.
That is so funny. I'm cracking up they couldn't find a different name.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised.
From the mind of Joe Rohde, Discovery Island, Discovery River.
So I thought, they've got here Anandapur River, I can't even say it, Chakranadi River, or Natazu River as options.
Oh, I would have guessed Natazu River.
Yeah. I guess it wasn't that important to name it.
I guess not, which is surprising. I feel like when they do the cavalcades on the water, what do they call them?
The flotillas.
Flotillas, yes. I feel like there's an announcent that says look down below at the river. Da, 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 da. Maybe I'm making that up, but I could have sworn they say something, and I just haven't been paying attention. I have no idea. Wow. Okay, learned something new today.
You did.
Cool.
And
yeah.
80% B's get degrees, as I like to say. So, good job.
Thank you.
We'll have to get you back on another day to try again and see if we can get 100%.
Yes.
So where can we find
Sounds
you?
Good. So I have a podcast called Park to Park Podcast that I do with my sister. It's about comparing Disneyland to Disney World. So if you're interested in hearing some fun facts and debate about which park is better, come join us at Park to Park Podcast. We're on Instagram at Park to Park Pod with the number 2. And then you can find me personally on Instagram as well at The Weekly Mouse, where I share whatever I'm doing in the park that week.
Excellent. And I highly recommend the podcast because I do enjoy hearing the comparisons. A lot of us think, why do I need to go to Disneyland when I'm going to Disney World enough? And they definitely answer that question for you. So, yeah, go check it out. So thanks a lot, CJ.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening, everybody. And don't forget to follow us on our Facebook and follow us on Instagram. And follow us on all our fun socials that we have.
We are at Miles from Main Street.
Well, it's been a fun one, but like we always say, some live close,
but others don't.
So let's talk about it. We'll see you next time on Miles from Main Street.